back, part 2, Kamiyada.
Yes, sirski.
So how did, you know what I mean, everything after 10 years old really, getting into music and stuff like that after the whole college dropout thing and then high school, all that shit. How did you become Kamiyada?
So really what it was is like 2014, I was more so on my like lo-fi shit, and I was like the wave of like, like the fucking Flatbush Zombies, Bath Salts, all that lyrical, spiritual, miracle shit. Like, everybody was doing acid and everybody was trying to open their third eye and their pineal gland, and niggas was just like, oh, like, bro, like acid colors and UFOs and aliens and shit.
Who's more woke contest?
Yeah, exactly. It was really a dick swinging contest to see who could be the wokest at the time. So I fell into that category, sadly, at the time. Thank God I woke up from it. So I was just in that bitch on some lo-fi hip-hop shit. Not the shit on lo-fi hip-hop, bro. Lo-fi hip-hop's live. But I was just in there, Listen, I was trying to bring back the 90s wave, I was listening to fucking Joey Badass and all that Beast Coast shit.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I was on that tip, and I went by the name Motive because what's some more woke name than Motive, Like, what the fuck? Like, everybody's like woo when they hear that shit.
Yeah, super woke, super spiritual.
Yeah, bro. I was really, I was on the internet like, fuck Drake. I miss the old Drake. Like, I miss when Drake rapped about the struggle, like on some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was Motive for quite some time. I was making cool music. Like, even like my old shit, I had way more like music from back then. But then my previous laptop that finally just really died on me at the time, it blue screened. And I lost all that music, and that also taught me the valuable lesson of backing up your music. So to all my young upcoming artists, make sure that you're backing up your music on Dropbox, Google Drive, backup, hard drive, anything, bro. Because once you lose that shit, you're going to be sick. Like, I promise you. So, yeah, like, that's what I was on. Then basically the whole cliche, I met a girl. I was very innocent at the time, I guess. I wouldn't say I was innocent. Like, my previous relationship at the time was a long one, and I was a shitty boyfriend. So I was like, the next girl I meet, I'm going to be the greatest nigga ever, bro.
Yeah.
So I meet this girl, bro, and I fell for the trap, for real. Like, I really didn't know the game at the time. I was, like, young, bro. I was, like, 16. So I didn't know the game at the time, so I'm thinking like, yeah, bro, we just gonna do the boyfriend girlfriend shit. I'm gonna buy her gifts and I'm gonna meet her family and I'm gonna be a nice, upstanding young gentleman. And basically, shorty was like, yeah, like, I don't want a relationship right now, but I don't want us to talk to other people. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. I guess we're taking it slow. And then so I did that, and I don't know, I would go to her crib and her dad would just be on my ass. Like, there was one time I went to her crib after work, and her dad opened the door with a Glock and was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. And he thought I was going to be scared, bro. Like, I'll tell you right now, bro, between me and Bambi, bro, we've been shot at multiple times. I'm more scared of a knife than a gun, bro. Like, I would much rather get shot than stabbed, to be honest. Like, stabbing is, like, some very sinister shit, bro. Like, you really got to be a different type of nigga to actually stab a nigga. So, anyway, I was just like, okay, bro, like, all right. And it's funny because I texted her. I told her, like, yo, I'm trying to come over. And she said, slide. So I get there. He's like, what you doing, nigga? Why you coming to my house unannounced to see my daughter? And blah, blah, blah. And the nigga got the Glock out. And I'm really on my phone. I'm texting my niggas. I'm like, bro, this nigga got the dog on me, bro. Like, he really trying to shoot some shit or something. And I was laughing, bro. I thought it was funny. And then all my niggas started blowing my phone. They're like, bro, what the fuck? And then her little brother comes down the stairs. And the nigga's looking at his dad crazy. He like, Dad, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, you really trying to show out. Like, you really trying to show out type shit. So this nigga give his son the gun. And mind you, this nigga little, bro. Like, little as hell. He was like, you know where to put that. And this nigga popped the shit out of the gun and put it wherever the fuck he be stashing that. But I was just like, yeah, you really a goofy ass nigga, bro. Like, goofy ass nigga, bro. Like, that shit's funny in movies, but nigga, this isn't Bad Boys. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, from that point on, I was just like, whatever. That shit ain't scaring me. I thought it was just a tactic to try to scare me away, right? So then, like, fast forward one night, I'm on the gram, and at the time, I was really like a nobody. Not to say that like Instagram followers or anything matters, because it doesn't. But at the time, like I really wasn't on shit. You know, I didn't really have music out. Like I was putting out songs on SoundCloud, getting no plays, and writing songs for this bitch. Like I wrote you this beautiful ass song, and my best friend, shout out my nigga Pat, that nigga can attest to that. Like his favorite song by me is a song that I wrote for this girl, and she would listen to it, be like, "Oh, this is cool," and I'd be like, "Damn, bro, like what the fuck, like." Damn, like you really, that's all I get. This is cool. I was like, all right, for sure. So then I go on the gram, I go on her gram, and in my mind, she was getting like 180 likes a photo in 2014. So I'm like, well, my bitch is popping.
Yeah.
So I go in her comments and I just see these niggas arguing over her. And one nigga was like, don't talk to my girl like that. And I was like, yo, girl. So I like click this nigga gram. Mind you, I've been trying to see this bitch for like 2 months, and she's like blowing me off. And then I go to his gram, and there's like pictures of them laid up from like 2 days ago. So bro, I'll tell you, like, bro, like this is probably the second angriest I've ever been in my life. It was 1 a.m, and I'm in my parents' crib. And mind you, if I would have been, I tried to call this bitch. The first time I called her, she answered like she just woke up, and I was so mad, bro, I had to hang up because I didn't know how to talk to her without yelling. And mind you, if I would have screamed, bro, my mom would have came in there and ended my existence, nigga. Like, she would have wiped me from this earth.
Really
yeah, bro. It was 1 a.m. Yeah, bro. Like she would have ended me. So I was like, I gotta calm down, bro. I had to really like meditate for a couple seconds to talk to this bitch. And I'm just like, bro, you a snake, bro. Like that's crazy how you did me. And she really trying like, oh, like deny it. She like, oh, he's just a friend of my friends, and he always asks me to take pictures. And I'm like, damn, this bitch think I'm retarded. Like that's crazy. So I can just say after that, bro, like my whole personality did like a full like 180, bro. Like completely. Like I don't know what it was. Not gonna be cliche, but like I really went from being on my spiritual shit to fuck all that, bro. Like I just started wearing black all the time and just I don't know. And it wasn't even on some like scene shit. I don't want to say it was some emo shit because it didn't feel emo, bro. Like I didn't feel like I was crying about it. Like I just felt like, all right, bro, like fuck it. Like this is what people is on. I guess I'm gonna match that energy. And then I started not giving a fuck about bitches, and I was dogging bitches out after that, like for a while. And then you know you get older, and I'm like, damn, bro, like it's really some bitch nigga shit to hurt people just because someone else hurt you. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, so I was just like, I mean, now I won't say like. Now I feel like if I like hurt a girl's feelings, like it's really on some like unintentional shit. Cause me personally, like you know, I'm an artist. I travel. I fuck around with a lot of women. Like, you know, it comes with the territory. It's like, and some girls understand that, some girls don't. Even in relationships, like, you can't date a bad bitch and be mad when she got 1,000 niggas in her comments, bro. Like, it comes with the territory. Like, it's really just comes down to how secure you are with yourself. So, yeah, like, that just made me switch to this whole shit. And that was really, like, for example, songs like 3 a.m. 3 a.m. was literally about that situation because I was just like, damn, like, it's crazy. Had that not have happened, I don't know if I would be here right now. You feel me?
That's literally a question I have. You on this list? I'm deleting it right now. It's how 3 a.m. came together.
Yeah,
what
like
was that night? That was essentially. Was it off that night? That 3 a.m.
Nah. So 3 a.m. I didn't write that till like I think I wrote 3 a.m. in like 2017, and I was still living in my parents' crib when I wrote this. Yeah, it was 2017. Wrote it, was sitting on it for a long time. Then when my manager reached out to me in 2017 and was asking me for demos, and I seen him he like managed 2 other artists that were like moderately big at the time that are much bigger now. But he manages this dude Weethan, he's an EDM DJ. Shout out my brother Weethan. And he manages Oliver Tree. Shout out Oliver too. Oliver Tree is like huge right now. But I just seen him. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna just send these dudes demos. And then one day I had been sending them demos for like 6 months, and I'm like, bro, where the fuck is this shit going? And he's like, oh, I've been taking them to the labels. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I never had nobody do that for me before. And then he sent out his brother and then this other dude, Paul, that are also on his management team. They drove out to D.C., met me, took me to dinner, brought me out to L.A. and were like, yeah, like, we fuck with you. Like, we just drove around listening to music. And I played them 3 a.m. And they were like, this is, like, some crazy shit. Like, yeah, we want to work with you more on shit like this. And we've been together since. But yeah, bro, like the night I wrote that song and Over the Ledge in the same night. So, wrote that shit, recorded it, barely mixed this on my presets, and it really came out fire. I sent it to Bambi, and Bambi was like, yeah, bro, like this some crazy shit. Like, this is crazy. So like I did that and I was like, okay, people really fucking with this shit. And then looking back on it, like that's a great song. Like I can really say that's a great song.
That's my
like,
favorite song by you, bro. And that's a lot of people who I know fuck with you. That's
yeah,
one of their
hell yeah. I've been hearing that a
favorite songs
lot.
by you.
I've been hearing that a lot. I really be kind of shook. I'd be like, damn, I can't believe that came out of me. Because I feel like one of the biggest things, I don't know if other artists, you know, suffer from this issue, but I feel like a lot of times it's hard for me to implement my true feelings into like a song. And it's much easier for me to just rap about shit that I know my supporters fuck with, you know? Like, just rap about this shit. Like, taking a safe route and just rapping about shit that, like, I know people gonna be like, oh, I love this. I'm gonna pump this in the whip. Rather than, like...
Pull up with the...
Yeah. Like, niggas love that, bro. Like, and mind you, like, that's cool. You know, that's also, like, a part of my lifestyle, too, in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
Not to say I'm on no street shit, because I'm not a street nigga. It's just, like, I'm not a bitch. And some of my niggas are street niggas, so it's just, like... It is what it is, bro. Like, it's a mentality and environment that you end up around here or there. But just with that being said, it's just, like, crazy. Like, songs like that and Over the Ledge are some of my favorites because I really hopped on those songs, spoke about what was going on in my life in, like, full detail, and it came out fire and people fuck with it and can relate to it. So, I wish all my music could sound like that. And not to say I don't think it can. Like, it just doesn't right now, but I think it will later in the future.
So around that time when all that stuff happened with that girl, and you said you had like a complete kind of personality change, where did you get the name Kamiyada? When did you switch from Motive to Kamiyada?
It's so funny. So like, all right, so I didn't go to college. Like after high school, cause I have like bad ADD. Like, you know, I can focus better now. You know, but in high school my ADD was bad, and it was more so I feel like a lot of it went into the fact that like. One, half the shit I was learning in high school, I knew I wasn't going to use in my everyday life. Two, the lessons weren't engaging. There were like very few lessons that were engaging. I probably feel like my most engaging subjects were probably like American history. And it was mainly because my teacher would play us like crazy documentaries, like mad fascinating documentaries where I'd be like, bro, I've never seen no shit like this. Like, I was like, this is crazy that this is in a documentary, and two, it's crazy they're playing this at school. Like, one of the crazy documentaries, the first one I can think of on the top of my head, like, I watched Bowling for Columbine. The one that they shot, I think it was about like the Columbine shootings, and they implemented like all these, you know, people that weighed in on when that happened. And then they interviewed Marilyn Manson and talked to him about like, you know, how people wanted to blame him for it because the kids said they were influenced by that kind of music. And then he gave like the best rebuttal, you know, saying like these kids were kids that weren't listened to. And I was just like, damn, bro, even now, like that still applies to like today, you know, you still get mass shootings. And then people rather just rule it out as, oh, this kid was a product of a bad environment or it was just bullying, when it's much deeper than that, you know. A lot of those feelings that make someone get up and do some shit like that comes from very, very early on in life, you know. And then it grows on to some other shit. So it's just like, yeah, like crazy shit like that, I was more engaged in that, but not in the curriculum shit like academics. So then I got put in this tech school, and it was mostly for niggas that either didn't do that great in high school. I maintained like a 2.8 or 2.9 in high school. So it was just below like, you know, what colleges wanted. So I went into that. There's a lot of niggas that was, you know, trouble with niggas that was trying to stay out of jail and that shit. And it was very strict. Like, if you just did the smallest shit, if you missed 3 days of that, like, program, you were kicked out of it, you know? But they paid you a stipend. So, like, it was kind of like a job, too, and they prepped you to work in, like, the corporate world. So I did that, and then based on, you know, how well you did, they model an internship for you, and I internship with this company called Blackboard, like the company that did, like, the college grades or some shit. And it was cool. It was an easy job, but I knew I didn't want to do that, bro. Yeah. All I would do on my breaks is just watch, like, Breakfast Club and hip-hop vlogs and shit. And literally one day on a break, I was eating, and out of nowhere, the name Kamiyada popped up in my head. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I, like, Google search it. Nothing comes up. So I Google search Kami and Yada separate. So Kami, of course, in Japanese is God, you know. And then Yada in Hebrew is, like, to be spiritual or to be known.
Word.
So I put it together, so it's kind of like spiritually known, and like it's insane. So I was like, damn, bro, it's crazy that just popped up in my head, but I didn't know how to explain it, you know. And then now to this day, I don't know. Like, I'm not very religious. I believe there's a higher power, but I don't know. I'm more so like into the thought of like divine intervention, fate, manifestation. You know, like shit. Everything I have now, bro, I can 100% tell you, like, I manifested that shit through and through. So I fell deep into that, and that became a big part of my music, because even now, like, even my newer songs, I talk about this shit, you know, because it's very important. Like, really believing in yourself and saying, hey, bro, this is what I want to accomplish for myself. And then from that point on, living your life as if you already have it. Because in that point, it finds its way.
I feel, bro, 100% know what you mean. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people just, like, they're not comfortable, with themselves, and don't, believe that they could do it. They can't see themselves there. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I feel like just people just aren't comfortable and they think they need to be someone else. Yeah. They don't realize their biggest attribute. Yeah, no,
and that's the biggest mistake. Mistake. I've really started telling my niggas, bro. I tell all my niggas, bro, whether it be niggas in here that I live with, my niggas back home, bro, like, I don't like if. Like, I don't like the word if anymore. Like, I, like, really try to, like, take that out of my vocabulary, because if means that there's a doubt in your mind. There's a possibility that one thing could go the other way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like to take comfort in that possibility because they feel like that's the safest option. But that in itself is like telling you, like, hey, bro, you might not do this. But I don't say if no more. I'm more so on some when shit, you know? So I'm like, when I get $10 million, when I get that car I want, when we move into this big house, when I change the world with my music, you know?
Absolutely.
When I buy my mom a house, when I buy my homie a house, when I get my homie 100 racks, when my homie takes care of his family, you know? I say when all the time, because I'm like, that shit's gonna happen. Like, you know, because I wanted to. Yeah, speaking into existence, because I know it's gonna happen. I have the power to make it happen, and because I want it to happen, it's gonna be so. You feel me? So I tell that to even my supporters, bro. Some of my supporters hit me up in DMs, be like, bro, I'm depressed. I want to do this rap shit. I want to do this music shit. My family doesn't support me. My dad hates me. My mom hates me. My family doesn't fuck with me. They disown me. Like, my family hates me because of my sexuality. Even crazy shit like that, bro. I hear shit like that every day in my DMs. And I'm just like, bro, like, really, if you want to do something, bro, you go do it, bro. Don't let nobody live vicariously through you. Because that's the mistake that our parents made. I talked to my dad, and my dad told me there was mad different shit he wanted to do when he was younger. But he was like, you know, I had to do this because I had to support my family. And I'm like, you did it, but did you have to do it? Like, did you really have to do it? Like, that's the question you really got to ask yourself. And it sucks because once you dive too deep into the other side of things, you get to a point where, you know, it's harder to get out. And then you kind of just accept it.
And people,
you know?
I feel like people just, like, they just tend to make excuses, and one of the biggest excuses I see is I don't have time. And I'm like, bro, people make time for what they want.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, I work all day, and then what do you do after work? You go home and you play video games and you watch TV, because that's what you wanted to do. That's what you want to do. If like if you really wanted to do X, Y, and Z, you would do X, Y, and Z.
Bro, there's nothing that would stop you. It's like love, bro. It's like what they say true love is. Like, you really love a woman, bro. Like, niggas will walk 100 miles, bro, to see her, bro. It's been crazy instances of shit like that in all of history, bro. Niggas that really want something to get done, they'll get it done. Just like how niggas say the best way to do something is if you do it yourself, because you do it in a way that you tailor it to exactly how you envision it. You feel me? So if that's what you want to do, bro, I tell niggas, because niggas be talking like, yo, I got mad niggas, bro, like some of my homies that'll be like, bro, like, you doing this, bro, like, I'm so proud of you, bro, like, I wish I could do that, bro. Or you be like, people just not fucking with me right now, bro. Or like, I just don't have the capability. And I'm like, bro, if you keep saying that, bro, and it's gonna be so, like, at the end of the day, like, you're putting that in the air. Even like little shit, bro. I used to joke about all kinds of shit, bro, about death, about simple shit, like bad shit happening. Even bad shit that wasn't that bad, I would joke about. I would put that in the air, bro, and what happened to me. Prime example, like, my first car that I got out here. That was the first car I got for myself with my bread. I was driving out here. I was like, damn, bro, if I ever get in a car accident, it's going to be in Los Angeles. Got in a car accident.
Damn.
Got in a car accident. Next car, I was like, damn, bro, this car is cool, but I know what car I really want. Like, I really want this car. Like, damn, I wish I would have got this shit instead, or I wish I could just have this shit right now. And I kept saying that, bro, kept saying that. Got in another car accident. And then now I have the car that I actually want. But I just put that in my mind, like, damn, bro, like, really, when you say shit, like, when you say shit and you speak it into existence, you got to really know what the fuck it is that you want. Because the tongue is, like, mad, like, sharp, bro. Like, the tongue holds a lot of power. Like, you know, words hold a lot of power. You've seen that over times in history. So it just be simple shit like that, bro. I just be telling niggas, like, watch what you say. Like, you know, you could joke with your mans, but then, like, if it happens, then you gonna be like, fuck, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'll even rebuke shit. I'll say something on some joking shit. I'm like, nah. Let me chill out. Let me chill out. Like, I don't even want to put that in the air. You feel me? So it just
kind of like
it
the
is what it
energy.
is.
The energy you put out is what you're gonna get back.
Yeah, bro. You look
deal.
at niggas like Tupac. Tupac rapped about dying for like the last 6 months of his career, bro. And then what happened? Like,
yeah,
it's just shit like that, bro. It really be shit like that.
So what is for people who don't know that are watching? What is Midnight Society?
So Midnight Society really at this point is just a collective of artists that really just make whatever the fuck they want to make at this point. Like, it really started out as just like this really dark themed collective, and I mean, I guess we still are that collective, but at this point, I don't know, like the whole idea of being the collective at the forefront of everything is just, I don't think is important to any of us at this point. Like, I feel like we really just went into this shit with that mind state, but now we just having fun with what it is, bro. We literally kick it in the crib. We make music when we make music. We make music with each other when we feel like making music. And at the end of the day, bro, like, I don't think there's really much to prove, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all of us have been in mad positions over the years to really do crazy shit. We took those opportunities and did crazy shit. Whether it was broadcasted to the general public or not, so be it, bro. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. I think actions just speak louder than words. Like, it's not something that we really need to flex, you know? I've seen mad crazy shit too, bro. Like, I feel like we're a collective. We make crazy shit, you know. We jump outside the boundary. I think the main linear idea of collectives now is like niggas have to make a certain type of music to appeal to a certain type of audience in order to be successful. Yeah, and that is true in some senses, but I think we took like the different route when it comes to that. We just do whatever the fuck we want to do and what makes us happy. And I mean, it's got us all the places we want to go, bro. Like, I don't know, niggas was surprised. Like, I remember seeing niggas really thought, like, I don't know, they was like, what happened to Midnight? Are these niggas together? Are they still doing shit? And then we went and did a fuck ton of shows in Japan, bro, and just shook some shit up. And then we went to London. Like, you know, we was just making moves, bro. Like, just making moves in silence. Like, you don't really have to tell everyone your next move, you feel me? Yeah. You know, I think it's more meaningful when you just pop out with some surprise shit. Because then people are just like, fuck. Like, I get that feeling with some artists. There's some artists I like, forgot that I fuck was so heavy, and then they come out, drop a crazy ass project, and I'm like, damn, bro, I forgot this nigga was hard. I'll see that in my comments. Like, niggas, I'll drop a song and niggas will fuck with it. They be like, damn, where the fuck this nigga been? Like, they be like, what's going on? Like, and you don't even think you've been gone that long. You probably been gone for like 2 months, and niggas be acting like it's been like a year. They be like, damn,
music so much faster.
Yeah, now, bro, they need it. They need it.
One album every 2 years, 3 years.
Niggas, at this point, niggas want a new song a week. Like, they really want that shit.
Or at least a video or
some exactly. That's what niggas really want. I think at some point I'm gonna get to that point, but right now I'm in the transitioning period of like moving on into the next evolution of me as an artist, me as a human being, me and my career. So I need to finalize all that first, and then it'll be so smooth that when I get the whole sequential order of how I'm supposed to do shit, it's gonna be like clockwork. It's gonna be like nothing, you know. And then I'll just move on to the next thing.
When did you start to notice the music was gonna work for you?
I mean, really what it was is while I was still working that job, I was getting my revenue together, because one of my homies, Lund, I just remember we had a small group chat on Facebook, and when we first got our like checks from like our distro companies, we all like flexing like, oh, we got $100, oh, I got $500, and this nigga put his shit in there and he had like 7 bands, and I was like, damn, bro, what the fuck? I was like, how you get all that? He was like, bro, like, I just be running up the stream. So like from that point on, like I was like, oh, okay, like Spotify and all this shit pays the most money. So I need to really push all my traffic to Spotify, to Apple Music. SoundCloud is lit, bro. I always loved SoundCloud because that's what I came from. You can't forget what you come from. And I support all the supporters. Still bumping shit on SoundCloud because I'm still bumping shit on SoundCloud. But with that being said, like Spotify is really where like the peak artists are at. So once I built upon that, like the money started coming in and I made a living off of it. And then when it came time for me to like end my contract, I was already going through bullshit at my job. Like, I got in trouble for some shit that was really out of my control, and they were giving me shit for it, and it was just really pushing me to the edge where I was like, bro, really fuck this job. Like, hey, waking up at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. Even if the job was paying well too, but I was like, I know I don't want to do this deep down. Like, yeah, absolutely. I was getting paid like $28 an hour, bro, and I was like, this is more than what most niggas is making at my age, and I still am like, fuck this shit. So after the shit was done with, I said, I'm gonna do this shit my own way. And I was at the crib, like, not looking for jobs, and my mom come in my room. She like, so you're not gonna look for no new jobs? And I'm like, but and another thing is, I kept my music. I kind of kept my music a secret from my parents for many years. Like, every time my parents would leave the house is when I record, because my grandmother would stay at my parents' crib, but she has a hearing aid that she never wears, so she couldn't hear me. And my sister would be at work, my parents would be at work. I'd be the only one in the crib. So I'd be free to scream as loud as I fucking want, because I couldn't do that shit while my parents was home, because they'd be like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, like, I would do it then and then act like nothing happened, and my parents would kind of assume I was in my room doing nothing. Yeah. But then they see me flying out and doing all these shows, and then my mom would ask me to borrow money, and I would just give it to her, no questions asked. And she's like, where you getting this money from? Like, you selling drugs? Like, like, what you doing? And I was like, nah, like, this is revenue shit. And then it got so big to the point where I couldn't hide it anymore. And even my family was trying to sun me. They was like, you still doing your little music thing? And I was like, yeah, you want to see. And now they see it.
Little music thing.
Yeah, now it's not the little music anything. Like, they all my cousins follow me on Instagram. They was pressing me on the gram. They was like, oh, you too famous to follow your little cousin back? And I'm like, bro, like, relax. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's really crazy to see the support. Like, it's really crazy. Yeah. I'm really thankful for it, because I know it's a lot of niggas that are dying for that from their families, and they don't have that. So I really hope for all those niggas that want that comes to them soon. I'm going to put that in the air for them.
Word. Okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up on that note. This has been part 2. Thank you for tuning in. If you were Kamiyada.
Hell yeah.
Again, thank you for letting me do this, bro. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, really, bro. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Follow us on Instagram at KULTClassicofficial. Hit us on the website at KULTClassicofficial.com. We got some new merch coming soon. I know you guys have been itching for that.
New drip.
And then follow us on Twitter at KULTOFF. And then follow me at Bobby Dee on the beat at BOBBYD with 2 E's on the beat. And then follow Kamiyada.
Yeah, bro. Space Guy Kami on Twitter, _Kamiyada on Instagram. Kamiyada on all the streaming, whatever. New music on the way. Rest in peace, my brother, hella sketchy. Shout out Midnight Society. Shout out all my brothers. My niggas know I love them. You know, I live with them. But, you know, shout out my nigga KP, who just popped his head through the door. We live from my bedroom right now, so we really getting cozy with it. But, yeah, shout out everybody, bro. Shout out ZCR, Dutch, my producers, my managers, and most importantly, the supporters and the fans, bro. Thank y'all for everything. We literally would not be sitting right here in this very spot if it wasn't for y'all. So, shout out, gang, bro.
Right, real
Plus
quick,
gang shit.
Real quick, last 30 seconds, because the camera's got to cut off. Last 30 seconds, top 5 anime of all time.
Okay, so top 5 animes of all time. Number 1, Fooly Cooly. I got it tatted on my arm. You feel me? That was my first tattoo. Samurai Champloo, Ghost in the Shell, fucking Michiko Ihachin, and Black Lagoon. Those are the ones I can just think of. My favorites off the top of my head.
I ain't seen those last.
Yeah, Michiko Ihachin is lit. Black female lead, you know, live. And then fucking Black Lagoon is super lit, bro. If y'all haven't seen that, go watch it. I feel like, and Nana's super fire. Hey, if you make music, bro, watch Nana, bro. It tell you everything you need to know, and they be dripped into Vivian Westwood, so can't beat that.
I have to peep that, bro. I have to peep that. I never heard that.
Yeah, that's some slice of life shit.
But thank you guys for tuning in. It's been interview number 31 with Kamiyada. Peace.